We're on.
And we're live. So yeah, I was just telling you, you haven't done any ceremony with up at Tyler's place, huh?
I haven't yet.
Okay, so their place where they do ceremony, they also do drum building workshops.
Sweet.
And it's ran by a Native American woman, and she shows up, and what she has is these wooden frames pre-made.
Yeah.
And you can see they make octagons or what is this, a fucking dodecahedron? And then she has a bunch of animal pelts that you just pick whatever pelt is like either resonating with you or you just feel like will make a good drum. You have this like industrial hole punch, you can see.
Yeah.
And then this animal like sinew. And dude, this shit is so strong that you stretch it and stretch it and stretch it. And then and I chose a big elk skin drum, and it's like, dude, hear the bass in this thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, right? So I'll take this out. I mean, this was with us that night out in the woods when we got kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You were singing Christmas carols that night. So,
Whoa.
yeah, it just feels good. And then you make your the drumstick and you fill this. There's an interior pouch which is filled with tobacco, and then you cinch it up with this like felt cap. But you can feel it like inside there is like tightly squished tobacco, and that's supposed to be obviously tied into like an offering, you know?
Every little detail.
Every little detail. And so I said, let's not talk about this till we're recording so the listeners can know how fucking crazy I am. But bro, I take my drum, I took that Rainmaker, I went and parked out front of this house that I want and just fucking played some music so the land could fucking feel it.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, dude, the house is actively for sale on the market too. So there's that.
Yeah.
But also like,
You're not.
I was like, I wonder these people see this dude fucking beating a drum at the end of their driveway, chanting and kind of humming and shit.
Yeah. It's make the house come to you.
You know? But bro, that's the thing, man, because I was thinking, you know, part of manifesting things, and you know, when you start to talk about this realm, people think you're nuts. A lot of people think it's like,
Yeah, a lot of people do.
and it's, bro, the human mind is capable of really creating anything we want it to create. And it's kind of like the chicken or the egg thing. Like I beat a drum and I fucking hum some vibrations that feel good to share with that little patch of dirt, right?
Yeah.
Does that energetically claim that as mine, or is it shifting anything outside of myself, or is it building the pathways within my own brain, within my own soul to be able to say, you know what, this is mine and this is how I do it. And like, you understand what I mean? Like,
Of course, yeah.
so is manifestation a tool to help keep you on the path to obtaining what you feel you deserve?
Well, at the end of the day, it's your will, right? It's asserting your will,
Yeah.
right? And you can think about it. That's good. Thinking about it's great. You can say a prayer. You can meditate on it. You can journal about it. But when you bring artifacts, when you bring tools that you by your own hand have created for that purpose, imbuing it with energy and power and potential, you're amplifying the impact or potential impact that any one device can do, whether it's runes or drums or
the new Rainmaker,
tobacco or Rainmakers.
Let the audience hear that real quick, dude.
This I've never seen anything like this before.
We should just do that for 2 hours. Say, hey, you want to have the most amazing commute of your entire life? We're going to play the Rainmaker for 2 hours.
Was it 5,000 little ball bearings?
Yeah,
in this
on a
thing?
drum head. And lift it up so you can see from the bottom. That is an animal skin. I mean, it's literally like a big bass drum that they filled with beads. So and it's funny because I went to the crystal shop in Everett. You ever go to the one right across from the co-op? It's a little north for you.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Pretty neat spot. And that's where I saw that a couple days ago. And I want to talk to you about this too, because I've been meditating. And now when I meditate, I like go on these journeys. I'm not saying like I'm actively astral projecting or I'm not in my body, but my mind is 100% somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, that drum from earlier today, that you need that in your life.
So you saw it and you're like, oh, that could be cool.
Yeah, and I liked it. And then we left.
Yeah.
And then when I was meditating the next day, it's like, hey, that you didn't come across that thing by accident.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have that.
So you brought the drum and the Rainmaker and sat in your car in front of this property and just zoned out?
Bro, right before I got here. That happened.
You just came from there?
Yeah, I just came from there. But dude, okay. I love this because as Tyler went like what you would call like off the deep end with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Certain amount of people think Tyler's fucking nuts, dude. Right. So welcome to the journey of me becoming nuts. But, dude, I was meditating again the other day and I go in my sauna. I grounded that bull. And bro, I am telling you right now, I think being deeply grounded through any type of meditation or healing practice changes the fucking experience.
Yeah.
Changes the fucking experience. I know that bull is connected to a copper rod driven 8 feet into the earth. That's connecting you deeper than 99.9999% of the rest of your life.
Right.
And your body can feel it, dude. And I was like, dude, this right here is part of healing. Being grounded in your ceremonies, being grounded in your meditation, I think that's going to be like the next thing that we really start incorporating.
Yeah.
You go to Aya, but the mat you are laying on is grounded.
Right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, like you can measure this stuff. So, right. I mean, some of these sorts of, off the wall or unusual practices are like, they sound weird. And then you look at how vibration changes your state. Right. So beating a drum is not just you moving your elbow joint to hit an animal skin. It's enhancing a vibratory resonance. Right.
Yes.
So there's like, you can measure that. So this is enhancing vibration. That's never a bad thing. Right. That's a good thing. Because most of us are kind of tooling around in a lower vibration because of the job or because of the to-do list or the bills. And so it's like, it just sort of depletes that. So when you can enhance your energy by doing practices like that, then there's a way to measure that. The actual grounding that's happening with that copper rod into the earth can be measured, right? Sure, it's you can look at studies about how grounding and copper being connected to water, discharges ions, right? So it's like, okay, as weird as soaking your feet in a bowl of amethyst that's also connected and grounded, it sounds woo-woo and out there. It's also measurable.
Yes.
Right?
Well, and also sound being able to affect mood, that's also very measurable.
Right.
And you don't need to do some fucking scientific double-blind placebo-controlled study. Put on Phil Anselmo from Pantera fucking raw, and feel the emotions from it. And dude, I like that. I'm not saying that that's good or bad. I'm saying, and then put on like Celine Dion hitting some of those notes that only a few human beings on planet Earth can hit, and tell me how you feel. The sound has a feeling attached to it.
Right.
And here's another thing that I learned through my meditational practices lately. The frequency of whatever you're currently listening to, bro, it touches your body in different places. And I like each chakra is connected to a certain frequency.
Right.
And bro, you can do it in your car right now. You can hum and be like, like you feel it in your chest, right? And you feel it behind your eyes. It's like zzz. Music is literally interacting with the energetic system inside your body.
Yeah.
That's why it's so powerful, man.
And when you tap into that, which you have to you run the risk of looking like a kook, number one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It takes
That ship sailed for you long ago.
way long ago. Way long ago. Like so you run the risk of looking like a kook, sounding like a kook, walking like a kook, quacking like a kook. It's an investment of your time and intention, right? You're actually devoting portions of your day to do this stuff. So there's an investment in your time there. There's an investment in your thoughts and energy that's going into that. So it's not like, for I think for a lot of people who are new to meditation or new to any number of these sort of practices that change you, that shift you, that raise your vibration, it's like, man, it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I didn't feel anything. All I could, I sat down to meditate, and all I could think about was my ex-wife. Right.
Welcome to me for years.
Right. Right. And if you do it for a day, it's not going to work. You do it for a week, it's not going to work. You do it for a month, you may have a moment where you're like, whoa, what was that? That was cool. Interesting. Mm-hmm. You do it for 6 months, you do it for a year, you do it for a lifetime. There's layers to this shit. I mean, the obvious next comment is just like jiu-jitsu. But the fact of the matter is that it's an investment of yourself. It's an investment of your time and attention and energy into this thing. And if you stick at it, you'll find that little things shift. Like, oh, I feel a little bit better. Or, oh, things seem to be clicking for me. Opportunities seem to be coming my way. And it's because you have devoted yourself to something, tapping into something that it has a deeper meaning and a deeper potential for greater and greater and greater success, right?
Yeah.
And it can be any number of things, but I mean, you could stretch. Stretching might change your life. Banging on a drum outside of a home, a piece of property that you are attracting to yourself, dude. That's not that weird to me.
Yeah. So this is so funny. This is how I came to the conclusion that I want this piece of property. Again, meditating, and dude, I bought these like high quality headphones that were like $250 specifically to play binaural beats. Like I went down a fucking rabbit hole on ChatGPT on what headphones interact with your brain the best for sending binaural beat signals to your brain. And these are what I landed on. And I'm telling you, I put those on, I play this binaural beat meditation, and it helps kind of like suck me out of my thinking brain and start going on these, like, it feels like you're dreaming, but you're awake. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Right. Yeah. And I'm visualizing like flying around, and suddenly I'm over this property, and it's the back of the property is the Pilchuck River, which I grew up on. Oh. And I own a piece of property with a nice river on it, right? Like, I know if I wanted to do what I want to do, I could do it on my property, right? Something about this fucking meditation is like, not only is it this specific piece of property, it's right here on the Pilchuck River. Uh-huh. And it's like the two things that you think are really beneficial to you are sitting in the river, because I go sit on my spot. I sit there very often, and you just feel refreshed. And like it washes over you, washes stress away, and grounding. And I was like, okay, I'm going to build healing pools. I'm going to divert the river, just like run a pipe, however, from the river, and then build these very, very intricate grounding pools.
Yes, dude.
And there's going to be 3 of them. One's going to be hot, one's going to be cold, and then one's going to be ambient temperature. And dude, I didn't think about this. This was like me looking at this in my meditation, looking down on it and seeing it already. And they were aligned north, south, east, and west. They had copper, like this comprehensive copper structure around it with a bunch of rods driven very, very deep. And then these wire networks going into the bottom of the pools. And it's like, the pool's already touching the ground. Why do you need to ground it further? I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm just saying what I saw, right? Bro, there were stone structures around these pools that aligned with the summer solstice and the equinoxes. So you can, if you're sitting in any of the 3 of these pools on the sunrise on the morning of summer solstice, it's going to be shining right through these stone structures.
Yes.
And then the last thing that I was told, and maybe you can help me with this, is it's like there's also a celestial connection. They need to be aligned with a very specific constellation that helps promote healing. And bro, all the ancient structures had a celestial alignment to them.
Oh yeah.
All of them did.
All of them did.
So like for me to feel that or hear that or see that, again, what is strange about that when that's what all humans did thousands of years ago?
Oh yeah.
But now that I am like, dude, these need to have a celestial alignment to them. And I don't quite know the details of that yet. And guess what? Maybe I'll find it on the next meditation.
Yeah.
Or maybe talking about it here, someone's like, hey, the fucking belt of Orion or whatever the case may be, right? Because I'm I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's fun basically going on these dream journeys while I'm awake. I could think about anything in that state, right? I could think about the shit going on in the Middle East. I could think about my next jiu-jitsu tournament. I could, like, whatever, right? Like, my brain never gets pulled into anything that has any sort of drama attached to it. Relationship drama, stresses of business. None of that stuff is welcome in this realm. It's just like pure creativity. It's fascinating.
I got questions. Do you, when you turn on the binaural, you put the headphones on, right? Because there's a ritual now attached to it, right? Same. I assume it's the same spot every time.
Bro, the ritual runs deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 22 minutes.
Okay. That's the whole, the track is 22 minutes?
The track is 2 hours.
Okay.
But what I've found is I dedicate 22 minutes. And the reason I do 22 minutes is the first 2 minutes, I'm facing my red light panel. And I have a giant red light panel. And I turn it on and I sit and I face it. And I allow the red light to like really permeate my eyes and my skin. 2 minutes of that. And then I lay down on this very comfortable pillow right underneath the red light panel. And I set the red light panel for 22 minutes. So it's 2 minutes facing it. And then I lay down and go on a 20-minute journey. And then when the red light shuts off,
your session's over.
That's it, dude.
This idea, so ritual as a sort of a mechanism for good shit happening. So when you ask, like, you know, Freemasons, or when you ask magicians, or when you ask, you know, people who are, you know, experts in ritual magic, what it really boils down to is the robes, the knives, the candles, the sigils, the process, you know, the little whispering, you know, things that you say, the flowery language, is all designed to basically put you into a state where actual magic can happen, right? And, you know, you look at the work of Dean Radin, who I interviewed on my podcast. He was the author of Real Magic. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but basically, like, monks prayed over 2 different types of chocolate. They prayed over one type of chocolate, and then there was a controlled chocolate, and they fed the chocolate to 2 different people. And the people who ate the regular chocolate didn't get prayed on. They were like, that's pretty good. And the people that ate the chocolate that the monks prayed over was like, whoa, this chocolate is the best chocolate I've ever had in my life. And it's replicatable. So all the power, all the intention, all the ritual is a way to basically get you into a state so that transformation or magic or manifestation can happen. So when you think about it that way, because the power of our minds to, you know, everything that's physical was an idea first, right? The same way that your pools and that your, you know, megalithic sites that you're about to build was like an idea. However that came to you, however that sort of like was downloaded to you or shown to you, was enabled by the ritual. And the ritual that you do is just for you. It's not for show, you know, it's not for anybody else. It's like, this is what works for me. This is the thing that makes me feel good, that helps me move forward and create and grow and be of service to humanity. And that is an incredibly important thing that a lot of people miss because we're distracted or we don't have lots of time. And so the fact that, I say, you do the same thing every time. He's like, oh yeah, it's like, it's 22 minutes. I did this for 2 minutes. You know exactly what you do. So like, you're familiar with like Dr. Joe Dispenza and all the miracles and stuff that happen at those. Well, people are going into those seminars expecting miracles to happen. Like, I want to be able to get hearing back in my left ear. I want to be able to heal my MS. Like, they're going in expecting good shit to happen. And what do you know?
Yeah.
Lots of good shit, spontaneous healing, like miraculous stuff happens at this because everyone is expecting that to happen. And so similarly to you, you've got a ritual laid out that's just for you, that involves the body, that involves the mind, that involves, I don't know if you're doing aromas or anything like that.
I have 2 rituals in 2 locations. The one is upstairs in front of the red light panel. And then the other is in the sauna with my feet in the grounding bowl. Mm-hmm. That one does have a very direct connection to like oils or burning lavender. I burn like whole lavender clove in the sauna itself.
Yes.
So it's like a real smoke.
Yes.
And like burn some sage. Like, bro, it's full. It's full fucking woo woo hippie in there. But I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you this because I think it's important. Guys, I'm just like the rest of everybody else. I grew up in the military. I fucking played sports. I fought MMA. I do jiu-jitsu. Like, okay, like I do these things in the physical world, which I think are also an important part of my journey. But the older I get, being able to connect into this, I don't even know what this other realm is. I don't even know if the realm might simply be my imagination. But I'm telling you, it's an exciting place to go lately. Bro, it's like a good book you're reading.
Yeah.
And like you want to pick it back up.
What's going to happen next?
And it's like, fuck, dude, I get home at 8:00. What time can I hop into this realm?
Yes.
And it's fucking, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's simply a very vivid imagination and a story that I am telling myself. But guess what? Maybe you tell yourself the story you're supposed to go live. Right. And so like we all watch stories that are entertaining. We watch Braveheart. We fucking watch Game of Thrones. We listen to podcasts. We listen to books on tape. What I have found, and this, again, this is a relatively new thing for me, maybe a month, right? I have found that some of the most exciting stories happen in your own mind when you close your fucking eyes.
Yes.
And it's fucking, and I remember when I don't remember as recently, within a week or two, I'm like, bro, I think I know what meditation means. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So the imagination is, I'm glad you went there because everything that I've learned in, meditation since I was 12, and it's moved into different disciplines and habits and frequencies and stuff like that and durations of time. But the imagination is like an on-ramp to deeper spiritual awarenesses, manifestation, and magic.
Yes.
Right? It's like, okay, can I picture this in my mind, right? Can I envision this life that I want to attract for myself? You've done it. You keep doing it over and over. A lot of people do. I want to build this thing. I want to build this business, or I want to go take this vacation. I can picture it myself. Like Cancun next year is going to be dope. I'm going to go with my family. I'm going to eat. That imagination is like almost like training wheels to get up to higher levels of vibration, to get up to higher levels of manifestation and ascended consciousness. Because if you can't fucking picture a purple horse, how are you going to be able to picture an incredible property with healing pools that's grounded with megalithic structures built on it?
Yeah.
You can't. Right?
And I'm the first to admit, I struggled a lot with visualization. Visualize a glowing green orb, and it's like, nope, just black. You know?
Yeah.
And even sitting here now, if I just close my eyes and want to visualize something, it's kind of hard for me.
Is it?
But when I intentionally pull myself out of my thinking brain and enter whatever this state is, it's like the movie starts.
Yeah.
It's fucking radical.
And it was when it was so specifically for this movie where you were kind of levitating over this property and you could picture it laid out in this way with all the detail that you just shared. Are you surprised to see it when you see it?
It's like you're driving a car in Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you look to your right and you see something and you explain it. It's not even like, it doesn't feel like I'm building it or orchestrating it. It feels like it's already there and I'm just observing it.
Interesting.
You know?
So
and maybe it already is somewhere in another realm.
And there we go.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, like, and bro, this runs deep because I like to talk about these things, but I don't fully have an opinion that I've landed on yet. But also, you know, if every single if you can think it in some parallel universe, it's already happened.
Right. Right.
Like that's how vast the universe is.
Right.
So part of me is now wondering is like, oh, okay, I think manifestation is simply acknowledging something that is already in existence in a parallel universe and figuring out a way to kind of like jump the matrix and enter that one.
Yes. Yes. It's everything is potential.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is potential. And when you can hone that and you can kind of like, again, kind of picture that and kind of step into that space of creation, it may as well be that property with those things on it in the way that it's done.
Here's another thing I think is important to discuss though, because as I'm moving into this journey and I'm trying to do this daily, bro, it feels good and it's fun. And when the light goes off and I kind of like sit up and like, oh, well, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder why I was shown this. I wonder why that person was there. Like all these little things, right?
Yeah.
And I saw this property. I saw these pools and I'm talking about it. I fucking went and played my drum there, right? But also if nothing ever comes of it, I can tell you right now that spending time doing this makes me feel like a better person than scrolling Instagram does.
100%.
So maybe it isn't something, because at the end of the day, I think the universe sometimes, maybe not sometimes, probably more often than not, to quote my buddy Charles Dara, he goes, the universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need.
Right.
And while maybe I feel that that's what I need, or that's what I'm visualizing, or that's what something I feel called to, the universe knows better than me.
Yeah.
We'll see where my fucking life goes.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting all my eggs. It's like, okay, this is now. Because here's the thing. You develop these intentions, you do these manifestation processes, and then it doesn't happen. You're going to start being mad at yourself.
Right.
You're going to start to feel down or like you're let down by the process. No, the process is what it is. And again, for me, it's more of just like almost a nice way to spend some of my energy
Right.
that's not related to all the bullshit in life.
That it's such a key point, you know, the sort of, I could be doing this or scrolling Instagram, right? Like, I think that that you are so powerful at this, and that you're getting, you know, I'm sure it feels like you've been at this forever and it's just now starting to click. But the fact is that you've done a ton of work already in your life with intention, with physical fitness, with being a person of integrity, with showing up and consistency. You've set the table now for the next couple of chapters. And so upstream from manifestation of this new property, or, you know, writing the next chapters in your book, the reason that you're able to write the next couple of chapters in your book is because of the other chapters you've already written.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's, I think something that a lot of guys miss is like, if you're overtired, overweight, pressed for time, stressed out, completely zapped of all your dopamine, like, it's gonna be tough to meditate. It's gonna be tough to envision the next chapter of your life in a way that you want to. And so, you know, before we came in today, we were talking about sort of like practical personal development tools that you got to get that shit figured out first. A fit body, a focused mind, your finances in order, you know, not wasting time, you know, not wasting 2 or 3 hours a day doing stupid stuff that doesn't actually add to your life whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of that work on yourself ahead of time to set up yourself for positive forward momentum that I think a lot of people miss, and they get discouraged when it's like, okay, I'm gonna try some of this stuff out. I'm gonna either beat a drum, or I'm gonna meditate, or I'm gonna go in a float tank, and I'm gonna like really kind of do this work. Well,
or even jiu-jitsu. I see people want the power of jiu-jitsu to change their life almost instantly.
Right. It's you haven't done the preparation. You haven't really devoted yourself to really anything. Maybe you've devoted yourself to your wife or girlfriend, which is great. That's a great step. That's a really important step in this. But if you're out of alignment and you're fucking tired and sideways and you're drinking, you're drinking 4 beers a night and eating bad food and getting bad, then it's not going to work as well for you, dude.
Yeah, it's a pit that it becomes almost impossible to crawl out of.
Right.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've been really focusing on a lot lately is the dopamine stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is we are so many of us, especially high integrity guys, are absolutely fried of dopamine. We're on these loops of getting a hit from sugar, getting a hit from social media, or getting a hit from our favorite television show. And we got to figure that out.
Well, that might be a very good segue into like kind of what I was going to say about this whole thing, though, because it's like, also don't mistake what we're saying as like the answer to everything, because it's like my business right now is thriving. My podcast is thriving. I feel like a lot of things in the spiritual realm are starting to connect for me. My marriage is in a good place. And yesterday I felt depressed all day. Mm-hmm. And I don't fucking know why. And it was to the point where it was like, I was frustrated because I didn't know why. And I came into the gym and one of the other coaches got here early. And I was like, do you ever just, everything in your life is good and you feel like shit for some reason? He goes, oh yeah, bro. And we just talked about it. I don't think you can be high all the time.
No.
And so it's like, yeah, you're doing the right things. You're putting in the work. You're living with integrity, like you said. You know in your heart you're on the path you're supposed to be on, and sometimes that path feels like shit, and I don't know why.
Right.
Well, maybe it's directly tied into what you're just saying.
Yeah. The you can't sustain, sustain hockey stick growth in all aspects of your life for 3 days,
yeah,
right, or 6 months, or 2 years, or you can be on maybe you're on a heater right now, which is awesome.
Yeah,
but there's going to be weird days, right? And who knows what? Maybe it's something you ate, or maybe it's just fucking a change in the season or something. But the adherence to and the discipline toward sort of, again, writing your own book, writing your own chapters, being the author of your own self, and finding different practices and tuning into the things that, man, this really serves me. Man, it really personally, Sean, it serves me to train jiu-jitsu like at least 3 days a week. If I don't, I feel off, right? It serves me to meditate every single day. If I don't, I feel a little off. And all of these practices, they build on each other, right? They build and build and build, and this foundation grows. And then it's like, man, I'm kind of dialed everywhere. I'm doing really well. Now it's maybe time to take a little bit of a risk, or learn a new skill, or try a seminar, or hire a coach, or take a trip. Go get lost somewhere. Go have an adventure. Like if you don't do that stuff, then it's so easy to backslide. It's so easy to get lost in distractions or sugar or all this stuff that isn't good for you. But if you have some positive momentum built up, and you like a weird day where you feel off, ain't that big a deal. You can recover pretty quickly from that. Yeah.
No, I think a lot of our peers, you kind of touched on already, but they're in a perpetual state of being stuck.
Yeah.
And they don't have, they might not have the knowledge or the motivation or even the capacity to try and step into something different.
Yeah.
Building a different routine, trying something new. And again, bro, that's why this place is so powerful.
Yeah.
Because what this does is it breaks people's mundane routines.
Yeah.
Like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, love it or hate it, I'm going to be fighting for my life.
Yeah.
And there's emotions around that. And those emotions are rooted in truth. And so it like starts to build a path out of this normal hamster wheel life.
Right.
And it's kind of funny too, because it's like in the big grand scheme of things, like if you zoom out fucking 1,000 miles and where we're just ants inhabiting fucking houses, learning to fight, why is it this fucking life-changing mechanism for everybody that embarks on this journey? There's a million reasons, but it's at this point it's undeniable.
Yeah.
I get fucking hit up all the time. And now what's cool is because the podcast started in 2020 when my video went viral.
Right.
Now I got guys writing me, bro, I just got my purple belt and I started jiu-jitsu because of you.
Oh man, that's so cool.
And it's like, bro, purple belt, your life has changed.
Yeah.
Your life isn't changing. You could set down jiu-jitsu for the rest of your life the day your purple belt gets tied around your waist. You are a different human being from that moment forward.
For sure.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
It's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I know another thing that we wanted to dive into today that I think is important is you were generous enough to allow me to hire you as a coach for, how long did we go? A month or two?
Yeah, it was like 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to preface this by saying a lot of people are hesitant in the coaching world, right?
Yeah.
Because, and rightfully so, because the world is filled with shysters like Wes Watson that want to fucking put on this badass image and I'm going to teach you how to be a badass. And very often those people's lives are fucking in shambles behind fucking closed doors.
Yeah.
Very, very few men in this world, in my opinion, have everything figured out to the point where they can tell you how to do everything. Right. That's just not reality, right? And when people see that, is like, oh, who the fuck is he to tell me how to live or what to do? And then they start to dig in a little bit, and it's like, oh, well, you fucking had this issue with your wife, and you're telling me how to live and how to pursue a healthy marriage with my wife. And it's like, okay, let's just take a step back for a second and really unpack what coaching is if you hire the right people and you find the right people. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't even like the word coaching.
I don't either.
Because it's kind of like a life coach.
Right.
This person has life figured out.
Right.
No one has fucking life figured out.
I totally agree.
Right? But you know what some people have is a perspective on some very specific aspects of life that maybe you haven't thought about, that maybe they could help you unpack things a little differently and just help you look at things from a slightly different perspective. It's not saying he knows everything and you know nothing. A lot of times coaching programs are, hey, have you thought about this instead of that?
Right.
And that's what I noticed a lot of you when we work together. It's not like, Greg, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. A lot of it is almost an open forum discussion where it's safe to kind of explore outside of what people typically think is just a normal exploration of themselves or their career or their life. And if I'm being completely honest, if you are a person that has the right social circle, maybe a life mentor or a life coach is not something that's necessary for you. But the reality of the current state of America, because my inbox is filled up with this message, is I don't feel connected to anyone. Sure. I struggle making friends.
Yeah.
I don't have a tribe of people. Well, if you're struggling having friends, maybe it's more important for you to connect with someone like Sean.
Yeah.
Where you guys can start talking about is like, well, what are your goals? What are your aspirations? Why?
Yeah.
What are the roadblocks you're experiencing?
Right.
What do you think caused those roadblocks? And a lot of the conversations that we had as me attending your mentorship program, bro, it felt like talking to a good friend that was helping guide me towards making good decisions.
Yeah.
Would that be a fair? Because I'm just unpacking it from my perspective of it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I told you that. I was like, dude, this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to hear your perspective on it, and I'm with you. The word life coach does come with a ton of baggage. Like, you know, the person that's coaching you has it all figured out, and that's just not the case. And so what I want to kind of key in on what you just said around the sort of the format for the coaching sessions is when someone is certified, trained, and experienced to sit across face to face or on Zoom and listen to the words you're using and listen to the way that you're saying them and understand what it is that you are working through and working towards. That in and of itself is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Like when someone can say, hey, you know, what you're telling me you say you want is not what your actions are showing. Has anyone ever called you out on that?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever said like, hey, what you're doing and what you say you want are not in alignment? And oftentimes just that understanding like, oh shit, you're right. I say I want this, but I'm doing this, and this isn't at odds with that. That in and of itself is valuable. I think it's important in the onset to kind of make a distinction between like therapy and coaching, because therapy is, I think, very ineffective for most people because it's just shaking up the snow globe of shit from your past again and again and again and again and again. And what a coach does is a coach meets you wherever you're at and helps you move forward, right? Sure, you're the way that you are because of the stuff that you experienced in your life, but what's more important is where you are now and where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the plan to go where you want to go? How do you attack that? How do you achieve that? So I think it's important to understand that. So if someone is listening to this and thinking like, I hear a lot of ads for like BetterHelp, maybe I should go pay a bunch of money and talk to a stranger about my trauma. Don't fucking do that. Don't do it. Finding the right therapist that has some context for the way that you live that can actually help you, it takes a lot of work to find that right person. What you might need is someone who you are paying, who you are invested in, so that you have an accountability partner, so that you have someone who is trained to hear you and what you're saying, someone who is going to tell you if you have spinach in your teeth, someone who has enough experience and coaching strategies and tools to help you kind of get a better sense of what's going on in your life. And the dynamic oftentimes, because I work with high level guys, you know, like I'm a hero's journey coach for high intensity dudes. That's what I do. Most of the guys all of the guys that I work with women too, but it's really men are my focus. Most of the guys, as I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm hearing you say this, but, and before I can even get the word out, they already know.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, you're right. You know? So as soon as I start to like shed light on something that is either messing with them or they're out of alignment with, or something that they're struggling with, and I can kind of put it into a little bit of a different context, immediately they get it. It's like, oh, I know what you're about to say. That happens all the time.
Which is, on one hand, it's kind of surprising, but on the other hand, it's like, duh.
Yeah, right.
Because I talk about on the show very often where it's like, regarding our own missteps or our own mistakes or choosing the path that doesn't serve us best, we all know that already intuitively.
Yeah, right.
You feel it, you understand it, because truth resonates a certain way. And when you're out of alignment with yourself, you know it.
Right.
But sometimes it takes someone else holding the fucking mirror in front of you for you to be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me.
You know deep down that you're not doing what you say you want to do.
Yeah.
You know deep down that you're saying one thing but you mean another. You know that you're neglecting this part of your life or that part of your life. And so I work with people in 4 key categories. Category 1 is like classic personal development. So when you think of a life coach, you think of Tony Robbins, right? That's how I was trained. So my certification is in like classic personal development, which has a bunch, like literally notebooks of different tools and strategies and practices that people can do to understand themselves better. Why? What's my fucking deal here? Like, well, here, this is what's going to show you what that deal is. The second category is performance optimization. So this is the biohacking stuff. This is, this is diet and exercise and hormones and, injury recovery to make sure that the bodily system can support where you want to go in your life. The third category is career development. And so a lot of my corporate clients, like I've got clients in Australia, London, down the East Coast, Texas, Canada, West Coast of the United States. Most of these guys are entrepreneurs, executives, that sort of thing. And they're already pretty high level people, but they want to get better. They want to go from really good to great. They want to make more money, but they want to work less hard for it. They want to work smarter. They want to either grow their company, grow their empire, make more money, or be more impactful in their career. A lot of the corporate work that I've done in the past, I've done corporate work for Amazon, for Microsoft, for tech companies on the East Coast, real estate, these sorts of companies. A lot of it is really oriented around how can you get more done with less stress. If that's all we do is you can be more effective with way less stress and work fewer hours. If you're working 60 hours a week and we can get that down to 40, but you're actually making more money and you're more productive, like, I'm worth it. Right?
Yeah, of course.
I'm worth it. So the career development part is a really big part of it. And then the fourth is the spiritual development part. And for people who have been listening to your podcast forever, and I know that you have a ton of people who never miss an episode. You've heard me before, and we've talked about dry fasting, or we've talked about meditation or astral projection and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the woo-woo spacey stuff is what I've devoted a large part of my life to and develop and have daily practice around to kind of inform that. So those are the four key categories. But really, the transformation can happen in an instant in a coaching call. If we're talking about something, let me just think of an example. So I had a guy who was on the verge of exiting his company, and he got introduced to me by a friend, and he's like, I'm going to make generational wealth in the next 6 months. If everything goes to plan, I'm going to be like my grandkids, my great-great-grands are going to be set for life. I'm like, awesome. He's like, I'm scared to death because I don't know what happens after I sell. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm not built for martinis at lunch and golf 6 days a week. Like,
so this was his, I'm assuming, like this long, arduous journey bringing him to this completion.
Right.
Where he's now has generational wealth.
Right.
And he's like, fuck, now what?
Crippled with fear. Like he was actually, as we started to work together, he was sort of giving me some like self-sabotage vibes. Like maybe it's not going to work, or maybe this isn't the right time, or maybe I want to keep it and grow it and sell it in 2 years, because he was so scared of what happens next after that exit. You get a
wow. Yeah.
Like, and he did not have to, like, the terms of his exit did not include him like staying on to consult. He was done.
It's funny to me how, because I've seen that same thing in when people are exiting the military.
Right.
Except when people are exiting the military, they're not leaving with generational wealth. They're leaving in poverty. Right. So, I mean, a lot of times when you move on to the next phase of life after the military, you're finding a new career, you're finding a new beginning, and it's like, oh, fuck, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see the correlation that it's little has to do with the amount of dollars. It has to do with like, fuck, this was my identity. Now what?
This was who I am. This is what I've been working on. This is what I've been building towards. And now that chasm between who I've been for the last 25 years and who I will be after this is really scary, really scary. And so as we started to engage with each other, as we started to do coaching sessions, and I'm doing all these exercises with him and paying really close attention to what he said that he wanted, we sort of designed the sort of ideal lifestyle for him afterward. And of course, it included more businesses. He's like, I might as well own the gym that I want to work out at. I'll just create a gym. Like, awesome, let's do it. A year later, he opened this gym. It's crushing right now down in Florida. What else do you want? What else do you want? Well, I want to have, I want to start jiu-jitsu. I really want to get good at jiu-jitsu. Cool. So he's training jiu-jitsu. I think he just got He's knocking on his blue belt now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Massive. How do you want your family to run? How do you want, free time? What sort of adventures do you want to take? How do you want to look in your physique? Like, how do you want to spend downtime? What sort of, spiritual practices are you on? And for a lot of these guys, not all of them, but for a lot of these guys, this sort of like spiritual development, the life purpose sort of aspect of their life is also a little muddy because they've been so committed and so devoted to building something special.
Bro, like I've been around a lot of high level people over the last couple of years, just from all the connections from the show and the gym and whatnot. And yeah, you'd be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised, but most people would be surprised. It's like, hey, they have everything going for them when you're looking at them on Instagram, but they're dealing with all the same stuff that the rest of us are dealing with.
Right.
A lot of those problems don't care how many zeros you have in your bank account.
Right.
Relationship problems, drug problems, like whatever the case may be, or even financial problems, because it's the same game just being played at a higher level.
Right.
Totally
right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the heart of what this guy was dealing with was, who am I if not this thing that I've been for so long? And how do I become more dynamic as a person? How do I sleep really well at night? How do I connect with God? How do I, and that's working with someone like myself. And it's not like a quick thing. Like you and I did sort of like a really abbreviated version of our coaching work. But you got a good taste of kind of like the structure and the flow and a couple of the tools that we worked on. But my standard minimum is 6 months.
Okay.
Because it takes a while to make actual changes, create new habits.
You mean you can't make someone's life perfect in 6 weeks?
Yeah. Right. But you can plant some seeds, and when you and I were working together, there was a number of times where we were talking about one thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't think I've ever verbalized that before.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever like described this part of my life in this way before.
Mm-hmm.
And that in and of itself is a beautiful thing, because when someone is holding space for you, that's trustworthy, that's experienced, that can hold up that mirror, when you have that sort of sacred space to do that sort of work, stuff clicks, and then you surprise yourself and you're like, oh man, I feel so much better now that I've gotten that off my chest.
Well, I think it's important to say, like, earlier I said, like, if you have a strong group of peers and men to your left and right that can call you on things or offer you counsel, maybe that's not for you, right? But here's something to challenge that way of thinking as well. When you hire somebody and you are now here for a very specific purpose, our relationship is built around that.
Right.
Very similarly to, I have went to counseling, right? And your counselor is someone where it's safe to say things that you don't have to worry about being judged.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with you, right? Because it's like, we are friends outside of this. But for those meetings, the energy that we carried was like mentor mentee, like, hey, I want you to attend this as a student, basically.
Right.
And I liked it. And I think it's a powerful place for most men to have an outlet to share what they're thinking and be free of judgment.
Right.
Right. Because bro, if I tell my close friends or my family just and it doesn't even have to be something earth shattering or something super dark, right? But anything I share with my wife is going to be interpreted from a wife perspective. Well, this is currently how we're raising our children. This is how we earn our income. This is the trajectory of our business. Like, my decisions have a direct impact on her life.
Right.
So the way in which she receives and interacts with me is going to be tied to that.
Right.
And that's just the reality of it.
Right.
In most of our friendships, you have a certain aspect of your life tied to that.
Right. There's a dynamic.
Right?
Right.
So they may not be in a place to just totally give you a detached, unbiased opinion about things, because how can they really have an unbiased opinion?
They can't.
when they're in this circle with you.
Right. And most of the time when it's like your best friend from high school, right? Or it's your wife, or it's, anybody that's that close to you, they want to love you the way that they know how. They want to support you in the way that they know how. And they're not very comfortable with you changing. That's a hard thing for a lot of people.
Well, and I'm not even saying like not to have those conversations with those people or that that's a bad thing. Just understand their answers come with a bias.
Right.
Sometimes it's nice to hear answers that don't come with a bias.
Right.
And good luck trying to find that in a peer.
Right.
You know, and I've seen it, man. Like I've went through a lot of challenges with my relationship and whatnot over the last year and a half. And you'll be shocked to hear this, but most of my close friends arrive at the same conclusion that I'm arrived at. This person said this or that, made me feel this. And sometimes it's nice to be in an echo chamber,
Yeah.
especially if you think like your echo chamber is the one that's standing on truth and being righteous. But regardless, it's good to be challenged.
Yeah.
Well, bro, have you thought about how she felt when you did that?
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not an easy thing to say to someone that you love.
I do think this though, because like me and Joao, who do you know Joao? Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. You guys kicked it that night at the fire.
Yeah.
Man, we went and talked on the beach about life when he was here last weekend. And he threw some pretty hard truths at me that didn't feel good, right? But the thing is, I think in our mid-40s, we're learning how to have those harder conversations with your true friends.
Yeah.
From 25 to 40, I don't think we do that to each other as men.
Yeah. Right. No,
You know?
there's a risk of doing that.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to alienate them. They might not like you anymore. Maybe they weren't ready to hear that.
He basically just said, hey, bro, have you ever thought about this person's perspective in how your families were, the dynamic between me and Angie's family imploded? We'll just call it what it is. I'm not beating, everybody knows, right? And he goes, have you ever thought about it like this? And it's like, oh, fuck, man. Because you always want to be right on things. You always want to be the one standing on truth. But at the end of the day, two things can be true at once. Two people's feelings can be true at once. And that doesn't mean like, how do I say this? Both people feeling like they were wronged is not mutually exclusive from truth.
Right. Well said.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and I don't even know if I articulated that right, but I think you understand what I mean by it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to hear that.
Yeah.
What do people that are batting for the other team have to say about it?
Yeah. Right.
You know, bro, I don't know if you want to go down an Israel Gaza rabbit hole right now, but I posted a video today saying, guys, like, I know like I stand on the right for most issues. I'm a conservative minded person. When are you motherfuckers going to be able to say, hey, watching babies die is not acceptable?
Yeah. I saw that.
Can we say that as men?
Right.
Why can we not say that as men? It just feels strange to me that we get rabbit holed into these certain positions on certain topics, and you're kind of expected to say this, and if you don't, you're out. And if you do, you're still in and you're still on the team. And I don't want to go down that specific topic right now because I don't want to put you on the spot or just bring something up that's not relevant to really what we're talking about. But it's kind of more of the same where we just see people digging their heels in. This is my truth, and unwilling to hear the other side of it. Right.
Yeah.
And someone wrote me and they're like, hey, I was in Israel. Hey, you think they're the fucking bad guys and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, I don't have enough knowledge to know who's right and who's wrong on every little, it's obviously nuanced, right? But we got to be willing to talk.
Got to be willing to talk.
Got to be willing to talk, man.
You have to.
And if we're not willing to talk, that ensures we stay stuck. And if we ensure we stay stuck, these other people are going to be at the top choreographing your existence.
100%.
So take that on a macro level that our country has experienced and hone that down into you as the individual And it's exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes the uncomfortable conversations promote growth, promote change, promote understanding. And you need to incorporate people in your life that will have those conversations with you.
You have to be able to expand your conception of situations.
Yeah.
You have to be able to keep a broad and open perspective.
And I said in one of the comments, I said, tell me more. And then I even said afterwards, don't misconstrue that as passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Or like, tell me, oh yeah, fucking expert, tell me more, right? Like that could be perceived as that. No, literally, tell me more.
Yeah.
If you were there and you've seen things, share it, dude.
Yeah.
Tell me more. And so I think if we can incorporate men in our lives that will tell you more.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it's going to make you feel.
Right. Right. And
it can be a friend on certain circumstances, but I think a mentor is better suited for other circumstances.
Yeah. Yeah. You pay a consultant to come in and tell you where you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Right. You pay an expert to come in and say, hey, listen, here's what's wrong. Here's the obvious stuff. Got to work on this stuff. Here's the stuff that, it's probably worth taking a second look at and maybe kind of pulling that apart and seeing if maybe you can make some changes here and putting a plan together to make those changes on the path to the goals that you lay out.
Yeah.
The value of that sort of consultative relationship, and you're paying, so you've got skin in the game. Yep. Right? Which freaking matters.
It matters.
If you're taking the session seriously, you're preparing for the coaching sessions, you're doing the work in advance.
Like our wealth coach says, a premium price comes with premium attention.
Exactly.
Like our fucking coach is $10,000 for 3 months.
Yeah.
But through his tutelage, we've 10x that.
Wow.
So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jenny just told me we're coming up on making $100,000 under his tutelage.
Wow.
Bro, that's what I made as a cop.
Wow.
And she's just doing this on the side.
Incredible.
Right? But again, that's one of his things. Premium price brings premium attention. Because if he charged $500,
yeah,
sure, he'd have 5,000 people doing it. But are they going to be showing up, taking meticulous notes, waking up early, making sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted? Once you're invested in something,
right,
it demands your attention.
Yeah.
Well, bro, and here's another thing. People can come here and be like, hey, my son's 14 years old. He was on the playground. A kid hit him with a double leg takedown, mounted him and beat him up. I want to fix this. What would I say? Fuck yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You train with me. You follow my methodologies. Your son will not be getting beat up by any kids at school anymore because they no longer hold the capacity to be able to do that.
Right.
Okay, we'll sign up. Here's your $150 a month. And in 5 months, if the kid is consistent, he will be one of the most formidable kids at his school.
Yeah.
That's a fact that nobody would dispute because we're going to an expert to solve a problem. When that problem is something like how fat you are or how well of a fighter you are, and it's very tangible, it's the physical realm, you can say, hey, he sucked at fighting, now watch him, right? Hey, he was 20% body fat, now he has a six-pack. Like, got it, right? But when you approach things like relationships,
right,
finances, with that same type of energy, people start to get skeptical.
Right. They do.
And again, I don't think it's wrong to be skeptical, but I do think it's a good thing to talk about because just like everything in life, there's good and evil.
Yeah.
There's guys that are trying to fucking sell you snake oil.
Yeah.
And don't really care how your life. Because I'll tell you this right now, for listeners that don't know you, like if you were my coach and I started implementing these practices and my life took a dramatic turn for the worse, you'd be sick to your stomach about it.
Yeah. Right.
You would feel the heaviness of that and you would be invested to try and help steer the ship in the right direction.
Yeah.
Where the snake oil guys, they got your money. They don't care where you're going next.
No. Well, and here's the thing, like marketing is such now that if you've got a budget, you can put together a really compelling marketing message on Facebook or Instagram or the internet.
Bro, do you want to hear the one that came across my screen the other day? Take a life coaching course to become a life coach for other men that are struggling with like, and I forget what it was, but you know, they'll have their like faith, family, fitness, finance, whatever the bullet points. And don't get me wrong, but that's Bedros, right? Like Bedros has proved that he can be able to build a program that enhances faith, family, fitness, and finance, right? Yeah. So I'm not saying those catchy phrases or keywords are wrong, but you have to be a person that has built yourself into somebody that can now help other people.
Right.
You're not becoming that person in 6 weeks to now start helping other people become that person. That's called a pyramid scheme.
Right.
That's what that's called.
That's right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And bro, here's another thing that's important to talk about when you are a coach or a mentor, because I'm both of those things, very different capacity than you are. But when people first start seeking counsel or advice from you, that little imposter syndrome voice in the back of your head says, who are you to guide this person?
Sure.
Who are you to say this or that? And I think something that is really important for people that are now standing in positions of authority or coaches or mentors is they've learned to outgrow that voice, not listen to that voice, and they know their value.
Yeah.
That's a key aspect of being a coach. Because bro, if you look yourself in the mirror and you're doubting yourself, you're not ready to guide other men.
Right.
And again, it doesn't mean you have all the answers. It just means you know where your 2 feet are planted, where you sit right now, that you do bring value to people.
Right. Well, are you yourself tested? Mm-hmm. Do you have quality results? Do the people that have worked with you in the past say, yeah, that was really helpful in my life? And if you can go to SeanMcCormick.com and read through some of the testimonials of some of my former clients. Have you yourself done hard shit before?
Yeah.
Started businesses and sold businesses, raising a family, blue belt, still blue belt, but hey,
a formidable blue belt.
Blue belt. Like all the spiritual development, the meditation practice, the work with psychedelics and entheogens to expand my perception, like coaching my kids in jiu-jitsu and soccer and basketball and football and having my feet on the ground and being based in reality. That it matters, because if someone is promising you insane results in a very short period of time, it's not true. It's not real. This stuff does take time.
Yeah.
And the whole point of coaching is to teach people how they can make changes on their own, and then they don't need me anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is not a revolving door where we're going to work together for 7 years. And again, I'm expensive. We're not going to work together for 7 years, and then I'm just going to keep, like that. I'd be out of my ethics if I operate in that way.
Well, bro, that's always for me. Anytime I've been injured and I've went to physical therapy or chiropractics or that kind of, or any type of recovery modalities, when the ones there are doctors that are like, fucking get you in on the system and we'll see you 3 days a week for the rest of your life.
Right.
And the ones that I vibe with are usually the ones that are like, hey, I'm seeing these issues. Hopefully I can resolve them in 3 sessions. And if I can't, that means that I'm probably not your guy.
Yeah.
I had a guy say that to me one time. He goes, based on your injury, based on what I'm seeing here, this is something that should be able to be resolved in 3 sessions.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're addressing a problem and you're correcting something.
Right.
It's the same concept with you. It's like, if I'm working with you and your life continues to stay in this state that you're unfulfilled by,
right?
Okay, like, at what point is it like, okay, whatever I'm suggesting or coaching or mentoring, it's probably not working.
It's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And the hard part is that oftentimes the guys that I work with, they're not quite sure what's wrong. They're not quite positive.
Yeah, welcome to fucking planet Earth, bro.
Right?
Like I just said, that was me yesterday.
Yeah.
Sitting in the gym with this fucking cloud of depression following me around, and everything's good.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, what did I eat today?
Yeah.
Fucking what did, like just trying to like, what is going on?
Yeah. That makes that's a distinction between like a book you read that you liked that had some cool stuff in it that you found insightful and maybe did, inform or help you move forward in your life. Then there's guys who everything's going really well. I'm uncomfortable in my own skin and I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
We're going to figure that out. We're going to figure it out. Exactly.
Do you find that most men that just feel uncomfortable in their own skin starts with physicality?
A lot of guys. Yeah. A lot of guys.
I mean, if you're embarrassed to take your shirt off, that would be a hard place to occupy 24/7.
Well, even yes, and I would put like alcohol, drugs, and alcohol in that category.
Yeah.
If you've got an issue with alcohol and it's kind of like ebbed and flowed, but it's still kind of there, and you're always kind of thinking about that next drink, like that's usually the first place that we sort of look at. And I've got, again, like protocols, dopamine protocols, resets and stuff to kind of help people kind of move out of that space. Oftentimes it's like, what's the dragon you're chasing, right? Is it women? Is it booze? Is it food? That often is like sort of hungry ghost stuff where people are like, oh, just got to get the next thing. They just want to consume the next thing.
Yeah.
That's a tough place to be.
Bro, I get stuck there a lot.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I still, I didn't touch weed for 7 months to try and just give myself some clarity and remove myself from feeling like I need a substance to bring me, I won't even say peace. I'll say like stillness or calmness.
Coherence.
Like, dude, marijuana allows me to go fucking, and it's like, and bro, there's still a part of me that's like, why are you outsourcing your power to a plant to find peace? Or is it that plant has medicinal properties and it is a medicine for you?
Yeah.
And the reason I bring it up is because it's like, I don't really know what the full bottom line truthful answer is, because would I say like, no, dude, it is medicine to me and it does help me. It helps me become creative. It helps me relax. And then I'm like, that's all the same shit that people would say about any drug.
Right. Yeah.
Alcohol, whatever they're addicted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I don't know what the right answer is.
You want my opinion on it?
Yeah, I would love it.
I think it is medicine for you.
Okay.
I don't have any doubt that it is. I mean, it's a master plant. Maybe we've talked about master plants before, but these, the plant intelligences, just like lavender, just like, sage or tobacco. These are medicine plants, right? And it's obvious that cannabis, because you did take a good 7 months off, and you're like, yeah, it was hard, but I managed.
Well, and I think I told you I got injured pretty bad.
Right.
I pretty bad. I didn't have to have any type of surgical or medical intervention, but I just popped my back and I was in fucking pain, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Weed has always helped me when I'm in this place.
Yeah.
And smoked, and Jenny did some fucking work on my back, and I could feel it healing in real time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, why the fuck do you always have to have everything black and white? Why the fuck do you, I'm not going to use this for 1 year.
Yeah.
Watch my discipline.
Yeah.
It's helping you, dummy.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to be this person where everything is this or that? And it's like,
well,
dude,
I would invite you to be more gentle with yourself around that, because,
and I have been lately.
Yeah, but even it's not black or white for you. You were running an experiment.
Yeah,
you were testing it, right? And I know you well enough to know that you want to test yourself. You want to see, does this work for me? Is it fucking ribeyes and apples?
Yeah,
cool. Well, let's run the ribeyes and apples experiment. Let's run the dry fast experiment. Let's run the no cannabis experiment. Let's see how that goes. So, yeah, you dig your heels in because you want to know the data. You want to understand how it works for you. And at the same time, it's on the backside of it where it's like, no, okay, I love it. It makes me feel good. It helps me sleep. It reduces my pain. Well, it's your fucking endocannabinoid system, right? It's your cannabinoid receptors in your body. They're like, oh, we can chill out. Cool. Okay, we'll chill out. Like you're taking a methodical approach to it, and yeah, nobody wants to feel like they're hooked on anything. Like I totally understand that, but I don't think that's what's going on for you, frankly. And that's okay. Here's
good. I'm not a drug addict. Then.
You're not, no, dude. When we smoked that night, I was high for 4 days. When we hung out, bro, you're fucking Snoop Dogg for real. Like
Well, yeah, and I laugh about that.
Oh man.
But at the same time, it's like fuck. You can smoke 2 grams of weed and still be coherent.
I'm like, my eyes were crossed. I'm seeing 6 of you. I had no alcohol, just like, whoa. I went home and I was like, dude, it's been 3 days and I'm still
sitting on the beach in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great?
It was so good. Dude, it was so good.
We're going to do more of that, by the way.
I'm in.
Joao actually said, he goes, I want to come up. This is my fucking Brazilian gorilla brother, dude. He goes, bro, I want to fucking come up more drum circles and fires in the woods. I need.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, let's do that.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is rather than it be like, because that was kind of like a gym hangout.
Yeah.
Like, hey, a bunch of jiu-jitsu guys, come on out, right? Which is cool. I love all the people that showed up. But it'll be a different vibe if we say, show up with an instrument.
Oh, yeah.
And let's make music.
That'd be great.
Bring your drums, bring your Rainmaker, bring your fucking like Viking violins.
Yeah.
Let's make music, bro.
That'd be sweet.
And just see how it fucking feels.
Just a jam out. Just a campfire jam out.
Or even like, like that portable speaker that I had at the Collective. You could play like tribal music to play along with.
Yeah.
So like there's a vibe and there's a beat and there's a tempo that's going.
Yeah.
And you step into that.
Yes, dude.
So we'll be doing some more of that before the summer's over.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to kind of go back to was this idea, like you put a lot of tension on the, my smoking or not smoking thing. Yeah. And I'll tell you a quick story. So there's a client of mine who, didn't drink any alcohol for like 3 years, and it was like a badge of honor, and he never really had he wasn't like an alcoholic, but he didn't like that he was drinking as much as he did, and so he kind of wore it as a badge of honor. It's like, it's been 3 years I haven't had a drink, and he's going to all these meetings, and he's going not AA meetings, but he's like hanging out with his friends, and he's like not drinking, and he's taking a lot of pride in it. And I said to him, I was like, you talk about not drinking a lot, like it seems really important to you. He's like, well, yeah, because this and because that. And I'm like, have you ever thought who you would be if you had 1 or 2 and just let yourself off the hook?
And bro, so many people would think that you're the worst.
Thanks, life coach.
Yeah, oh, you got me back on the sauce, right? Bro, I love that you said that though, because I say the same thing, man. If you replace alcoholism with sobriety, you still got this thing that you're attached to.
Right. It's still
fuck the thing.
Right. Like if it's affecting your life, if it's all consuming. And again, this is not like I told a former alcoholic to like go on a bender. This is like a guy who like took a break and liked who he was without alcohol. But then it was just like, he was consumed by it. He was just like, I can't drink. And I'm like, well, I think it would be okay if
have a glass of wine.
If you had a cider with your buddies.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure you would be okay. And he's like, well, okay. So he thought about it for a while, and then he went out with his buddies, and he had 2 ciders and had a buzz and felt great, hung out, had a wonderful time, felt at ease, slept like $1 million, woke up, didn't have a hangover. And he texts me and he's like, dude, I had 2 ciders last night, and I'm so glad that I slayed that dragon, I'm not drinking dragon.
Yeah, because it's almost like a false part of your identity.
Right.
Because what do you really gain by being the guy that, and don't get me wrong, I am not an advocate for alcohol. I don't like alcohol. But I'm also not fucking like riding my high horse talking about how bad alcohol is.
Right.
And here's the thing. I have my opinions on alcohol. I don't think by and large it's beneficial to society and beneficial to your health.
Yeah.
But I also know plenty of people that can go have a drink or two with dinner, with friends, and still high performers, high level athletes. And you can have the relationship. I honestly think that. I think you can have the relationship with alcohol that I have with weed if you do exactly that. Like, hey, I have a glass of wine a couple nights a week and it just helps me fucking relax into my bed or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I think our society gets very caught up in just absolutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me included, right? But it's like, dude, I don't think our grandparents ever thought about like how many drinks does that person have in a week, right? And they all lived into their fucking mid 80s.
Well, a lot of the centenarians like have a glass of wine every night. They're laughing with their friends, and they're surrounded by people that they love, and it's part of their lifestyle. And they're at ease.
I love that you said that because I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and I don't know where I've landed, right? And I'm not quite sure where I've landed because, bro, I can eat fucking steak and apples and walk around at 6% body fat and look like the cover of a Men's Health magazine. I can be that person when I want to be. That person does not have any fucking desserts with their wife. That person has no ice cream cones with their kids when you're walking the beach at Edmonds. Like, and I've been intentional over, I would say, the last... it's been a while now where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to hold myself to the strictest dietary standards in the world because this is my life.
Yeah.
And I don't look like I used to look. And I also don't look like 99% of men in their 40s either.
Right.
I'm still a formidable athlete. I still am in good shape. I could go out and roll 10 rounds right now. But I don't look how I used to prescribe the warrior athlete fucking leader looks.
Yeah.
And I'm not completely sure what is right and what's wrong because like I get memories on my phone, which is a year or two ago where I was like fucking just jacked wild animal. It's like, God, I want to look like that again. And then I have to say, no, you don't. Cause if you wanted to look like that, you'd look like that.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You know how to get there. You've got there. It's not some guy looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger on the cover of a magazine. It's like, that was you. You know the path to get there.
Right.
Bro, the path to get there is not super enjoyable. It's just simply not.
Right.
It takes a tremendous amount of discipline. You're hungry often. You're craving things often. And I think it's good to go through seasons where you're exercising a ton of discipline, but I also think it's good to go through seasons where you just get to be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And bro, like I'm never going to look like Chris Farley. You know what I mean? Like I understand the tipping point. Yeah. And I'm sure I'll get to a point where it's like, hey, dummy, you get back down to 8% body fat right now.
Dial it in.
And I probably will.
Yeah.
But I've always had this like fear of letting things slip too far.
Sure.
And then hearing you talk about like most people that are 100, man, they'll go laugh with their friends and have a drink of wine.
Yeah.
They're not measuring the fucking calories and you know what I mean? Like,
no, they're I mean, a lot of them are having a cigarette and a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And they're outside and they're laughing and they're walking and their stress levels are pretty freaking low.
Did you see that documentary on they called them green zones?
Yeah.
Where
or
people,
blue zones.
Blue zones, where people live over 100.
Yeah.
And one of them was some town in Greece where they're in their 80s and 90s and they're still walking like, what is it, 20 flights of stairs a day or the equivalent of. Just because to go to your house to the grocery store is like these narrow stone stairways. And if you just live in a state where you're constantly doing, guess what the body will do? It'll constantly do.
Yeah, it'll keep up.
You know?
Yeah, it'll adapt to it. Yeah, I think a lot of the pressure that we put on ourselves, and you're in a very small percentage of people for your discipline and for your, your ability to execute. And I think for mere mortals, like people, we get hung up on, I got to do this or I got to do that. And one of the exercises that I do, and I don't know if you and I did this together, but a lot of people, and I'll just give this is free. This is free. No, this is free of charge.
No, it's not free. You have to go to Sean's Venmo and give him $10 right now, or turn your radio off.
Yeah. this one will change you. So this is called need to tracking. And from the moment you hear this, for the next 3 days, on your phone or on a notebook, track how many times a day you use the terminology, I need to ... I need to work out. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to wash my car. I need to call my wife. I gotta work out today. Track how I need to, I have to, I've gotta, that terminology, track it on your phone for the next 3 days and watch how many times you put pressure on yourself that's totally unnecessary. Some people are really bad at this. It's like every other word out of their mouth is I need to, I need to, I need to. And these are really high caliber people, right? These are people who get shit done. But they put all this pressure on themselves. And so then here's the next step of this. After you have driven yourself absolutely insane tracking how many times you've said, I need to fill in the blank.
So do you write that down then?
You just make a tick mark.
Okay, so you're just counting. You're not collecting data on
Nope.
the different needs.
Nope.
Okay.
You're just tracking. I need to. Fuck. There's one. Fuck. I need to go. Fuck. And you write another one.
Okay.
Pretty soon, by the end of the day, if you're going to do this right, you're going to have probably 5, 10, maybe 50 of these need tos. After you've made yourself crazy, maybe it's a day and a half, maybe you go the full 3 days and you count them up. Then what you do in the next step of this little coaching, exercise, now reframe it afterward and say, okay, how do I change this and release myself from the pressure I'm putting on myself to do this stuff? And how can I reframe this into, it would be good if I, or it's important that I, ... It would serve my highest self if I ... Watch how your life changes. And this is such a simple thing, but you would be freaking amazed how quickly you feel like you've taken off a 40-pound pack off of your back. It's because here's the thing, that need to talk isn't yours. Mm-hmm. That's what you got from your parents, from your teachers, from your boss.
Just society overall.
Society told you that you need to clean your room. You need to go upstairs and brush your teeth. Mm-hmm. So this terminology, this language, we just adopt, we absorb it. Oftentimes before we even turn, 7 years old, we just, shit, I need to go do this. And then now that just extends into mowing your lawn and exercising. And it just heaps this pressure onto yourself constantly. So when you reframe that as, it's important that I work out today. It would be good for my physique if I worked out today. Some people think, well, I get to work out today. That doesn't really work out. When people kind of try to backdoor the system.
Yeah, but bro, it's funny you say that because I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. I get to pay my bills today.
Yeah. No, there's still a part of me that wants to go behead people in the IRS.
Yeah.
So it's like,
right.
I'm not getting to.
No, you don't. No, you don't get to do. It doesn't work. The psychology, the mind knows that you're trying to trick yourself.
Well, and take it back to fucking Australopithecus or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they probably weren't super excited to have to build a fucking big fortified stone structure to keep them warm and to keep predators from killing them in the winter. But it's understood that this is something that is necessary for life.
Right. That's the other thing too, is when people say, I need to do this or I need to do, you don't. You need to eat. You need to breathe. You need to sleep.
You don't even need to eat like people think.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Like when you tell someone, hey, it's funny because I was actually in Montana hanging out with a group of veterans, and one of them was having like this psoriasis issue, right? I said, bro, just don't eat food for 5 days.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Right.
He's like, man, he goes, it's crazy you said that because I've actually been thinking about it. I said, I'll fucking do it with you.
Yeah.
And then the next thing was like, fuck, bro, how do you go 5 days without food, man? How the fuck do you do it? To me, it's not even a concern.
Yeah.
Because I get to drink water.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
Yeah.
But it's like until you empower yourself
Right.
through actually going through these practices, to most people, they do need to eat 3 times a day.
They've convinced themselves that.
It is a need.
Right. Right.
But it's all that needs between their ears, though.
Right. This comes up a lot, you know, for the, you know, for the guys I work with, where it's like, no, I need to fill out this report. I need to prepare for the board meeting on Friday because we've got a meeting with the board. And I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, I do. We have quarterly board meetings and I have to prepare for it. I'm like, no, you don't. You could fuck off to Bali, leave your family, leave your wife and kids, never come back. You could do that now. You could. And you want to know what? The sun would still come up tomorrow.
Fucking universe keeps doing what the universe is doing.
So you don't need to prepare for the board meeting tomorrow. That's a choice that you've made. Yeah, I see your wheels turning there.
Well, bro, no, it's funny because when I got asked to speak at Bedros Live, bro, that's a big event.
Yeah, man.
He's a big name.
Yeah, he is.
He has a lot of people that put a lot of stock in him, that paid big money to be at that event. And it was getting close, and people were like, bro, what is your speech? What are you going to talk about? I said, I don't know. And it was blowing. People were like, what the fuck you mean? I don't know. And I said, dude, if I start to create this thing that I'm going to deliver, now I'm delivering a thing. A thing you deliver has to be rehearsed. It starts to become an act.
Uh-huh.
It's like when Brad Pitt is reading a script and says, okay, when the cameras go, these are the words I have to say. And don't get me wrong, there's a skill in that, right? That's not where I shine, though. And I was like, if I overthink things and start to be like, okay, I have to say this. I want to touch on this point. I want to make sure that people hear about this aspect of my life. Now, instead of just going out there, it's this weird rehearsed thing. Mm-hmm. And I think people become their own worst enemies because, I mean, fuck, we didn't talk about shit today other than you sent me a text with like a couple bullet points. You're like, hey, these are some cool things to talk about, right? I don't even think we've looked at those.
No.
So if I can sit down and talk to you for an hour and 32 minutes, I can certainly talk to an auditorium of people for 20.
Right. Yeah.
And bro, that's what I did. I went out there and I talked to them.
Yeah.
Just like we're doing now. And a lot of people said it was the best performance of the night. And it's because it wasn't a fucking performance.
Yeah.
The first thing that I said when I stepped on stage, I said, guys, just so we're clear, I'm a conversationalist. I am not a keynote speaker. You're not going to listen to me up here saying all these things because most of the things you're looking for, you already hold inside. And for me to tell you the thing that's going to fix your life, I think what would be more beneficial is if I could create questions to make you look inside yourself and find it in your own self. And that's what we started doing.
Wow.
And it fucking worked perfectly.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I just got the recording.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I saw the pictures from it, but and your little walkout before you went on. Yeah.
But again, it's like, fuck, man. Bedros put his trust in me. He's expecting me to deliver.
I need to deliver.
I need to say this. I need to do that.